Okay, good morning and welcome to the second day of the Barcelona Trading Conference. We're extremely happy to have you here, and we're extremely happy, delighted and honored to have here Mr. Pere Aragones, the Vice President and Minister of Economy and Finance of Catalonia. Mr. Aragones holds a degree in law from Universitat Oberta de Catlunya and a master's degree in economic history from the Universitat de Barcelona, and is he participated in the PhD program in economic history. Aragones was an appointed representative in the Catalan parliament for a decade. He was also a spokesman of the ERC party in the Catalan Parliament Commission for Economy, Finance and Budget, and was in charge of negotiating the budget of the Generalitat de Catlunya. Mr. Aragones, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, CEO Finance Magnates, Michael Greenberg, Director of Content and Finance Magnates, Michael Peel, Director General of Economic Promotion, Competition and Regulation of the Catalan Government, Lluís Juncà. First of all, I would thank you for giving me the opportunity to open this first edition of the Barcelona Trading Conference. The government of Catalonia is extremely interested in the inclusion of new management technologies in its administrative process. A good example of this commitment is the participation in these afternoon sessions of the General Secretary of Economy, Albert Castellanos, and also the Director of Economic Promotion, Lluís Juncà. The fact is that blockchain, artificial intelligence, and 5G technologies are transforming economic transactions and have a direct impact on the relations between public administrations, their suppliers, and the general public. Many people still associate blockchain exclusively with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. However, its use is much more diverse. Blockchain, that's clear, it's a technology that allows a permanent record of transactions to be kept. It's immutable and cyber-secure, and its structure is free from intermediaries. The information travels as it were in a web instead of using a radial system such a bicycle wheel, each much more secure, better distributed, decentralized, and a more economic system, more efficient system, as the number of intermediaries is reduced. Blockchain has numerous uses in the private sector. The financial industry is the first one that springs to mind. Banks will be better equipped to face with the rise of fintech competition if they can succeed in adapting to change by reducing the level of intermediation and by increasing security. But there are other opportunities for blockchain in the energy, biomedical, and distribution sectors. For us, this system is particularly interesting for managing public services and implementing citizen participation processes. The Catalan administration, the Catalan government, has been a pioneer in the adoption of a countrywide strategy in this technology. The truth is that Catalonia has always been at the forefront of every industrial revolution, and now we want also to be among the first in embracing these new technologies and artificial intelligence. In this respect, the government of Catalonia had recently approved the blockchain strategy for Catalonia after more than 1 year of work led by the Ministry for Digital Policy and Public Administration. Let me tell some of the measures that are already underway or are about to be implemented. The Catalan Verified Identification System, which will develop a self-sovereign identity model based on blockchain technologies. The Consent Register, which will guarantee the general public access to the provision of proactive and personalized public services. Improvements in waste management services. Support for organ transplants, with the possibility of sharing data and biological indicators between hospitals to be able to make a faster selection of organ recipients. support for the energy transition through the promotion of photovoltaic self-consumption, a secure channel between the Parliament of Catalonia and the Government of Catalonia, which involves the creation of an internal web services for sending and storing messages securely. In short, Catalonia's blockchain strategy aims to develop a program based on 6 key pillars: the improvement of public services and the positioning of Catalonia as a leader in these technologies, the development of innovation environments that connect blockchain technology with artificial intelligence and 5G, measures to boost this emerging industry and create spaces for companies in the sector, the generation, retention, and attraction of talent, and the creation of a favorable regulatory framework. The mechanisms are already in place, with 3 Technio centers developing blockchain technology in Catalonia, public centers of research centers like Eurecat, the E2CAT Foundation, and Center Easy. In addition, hosting congresses such as this one helps to facilitate the necessary context to promote technologies such as blockchain. Trade fairs, congresses, and conferences all help to transmit knowledge, to create this environment of knowledge in Barcelona and Catalonia. And for this reason, we are delighted that Barcelona is becoming the capital of new technologies, with events such as the Mobile World Congress or the Integrated Systems Europe's show. Barcelona has a very distinct tourism profile, which is especially strong in the field of business and congress tourism. Attracting new events and initiatives is very important for us. For this reason, we hope that this edition of BTC will be the first of many more. We also been very active in attracting foreign investments, because Catalonia has always been and will continue to be a society that is open to the world, with an economy largely based on exports. Indeed, this vocation for foreign trade was one of the main reasons we were able to emerge successfully from the Great Recession that started in 2008. The Catalan economy overcame the crisis with growth figures in excess of 3% between 2014 and 2017, double the average figure of the Eurozone, the euro area, and higher than the rest of Spain. Last year, the Catalan economy slowed down slightly, though still recording a healthy GDP increase of 2.6%. In spite of the slowdown in global growth, Catalan companies are continuing to internationalize, and the foreign balance remains positive. This was highlighted recently in the 2018 annual report of the General Council of the Catalan Chambers of Commerce, which also note that greater exposure of the Catalan economy to this sector, to the IT sector, the export sector also, could impact positively on its growth. All in all, the most immediate forecasts are good, with expected a GDP growth of 2.2% for this year and 1.9% in 2020. In other words, steady growth of around 2%, in line with a more mature phase of the economic cycle after a few years of sharp increases. These forecasts reflect a more sustained growth in exports than in imports. Thus, exports expected to rise by 2.8% this year and 3.5% in 2020. And that brings my presentation to an end. Thank you very much for letting us explain our interest and improving administrative management process through new technology such as blockchain. Indeed, this is about using the best possible tools to underpin our vocation as a public service provider. I do hope that presentations of debates, which began yesterday, proved to be as compelling and productive as possible for you all. Thank you very much, and a good stay in Barcelona. Thank you.